All right, let's get it. One and all. It's happening. B versus Cagliari in the quarterfinals. Byzantines up against Knights Templar. I have not got to see this matchup very often, but something tells me it's going to be another Byzantine nightmare because Knights Templar, believe it or not, are one of the best outpost rushing civs in the game. Why? Wood. They love it. High in a fiber diet, they even eat it. They give you food as well as the wood, and this makes them very efficient on the racks, outpost, and spearman timing. And they are playing against a civ that absolutely hates that timing. Byzantines, it's not about the gold. It's about the berries that you go for so late. But this could be better. Could he actually do like a crazy outpost hit? Maybe? I don't think you can, though. Against Akratoy, it's too risky. So yeah, he'll just take a safety. It's going to be an outpost drop on the berries. B should know about this, so he can't get blocked out. I will 2x speed just for the Dark Age. Daddy. I mean, this must be him feeling right at home. Guys, for those that know where our journey with Cagliari began, a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there lived a boy that would only ever men-at-arms rush in the Dark Age with English on Highview. His name was Cagliari. He's returned home, baby. Returned home. He's even going to start torching down the Grand Winery? What? I mean, it's ambitious. But in fairness, you do a lot of damage to it before it's complete. And it's not like you've got anything else to do right now. The tricky part, though, is this outpost kind of wasn't deep enough. Because without an arrow slit, he can't block the full berry patch. So just a bit unfortunate there. What he's at least doing here, guys, is if he garrisons the outpost, he's not going to hit villagers until the second berry. So by doing this, he can force his opponent to waste wood repairing. So he's getting some value while he can, because the archers are on the way. Oblivion's just fine. I don't need to play again. Bro, I'm sorry. How many hours did you play it? Did you actually play Oblivion proper? Oblivion had a lot. The problem is Oblivion's primary content kind of sucked. Okay, and I'm saying this as someone who loved Oblivion. I think the thing that sucked with Oblivion is the repetition of the demon worlds. But the overworld was phenomenal. Okay, so B does realize he's not going to get berries anymore, so he pulls back. Archer's here as well, so that's going to keep him content. I don't know, like... I guess you kind of need the archers anyway just to guarantee you can't dive, but this definitely doesn't feel great for B. Especially with Kingdom of France now coming. Like, what you realistically need here, guys, is javelins, which is why he's rushing berries in the back. Javelins is your saving grace, because Knights Templar would love nothing more than just to do France into Chevalier and archers. It is their go-to comp. They are poor man's French in that regard. What are you doing? Okay, that's kind of cool, but also a bit weird. So Cagliari, he pulled the villager back to capture the outpost. This is the one that built the outpost originally. So he pulls him all the way back here. Chopping wood's good. Something I've noticed, and this is another reason why Knights Templar is like one of the best outpost rushing civs in the game, is because they're also one of the best proxy-based building civs in the game. Their villagers don't have to waste extra wood to stay out. They don't have to build a mining camp or a lumber camp or whatever. Just go over and chop a tree. It's free real estate. Aren't Keswiks better for mobility and killing pilgrims? So, what you just said sounds cool in theory, until you realize that your Keswiks are going to get contested by Chevalier, and will eventually lose. And then, what's your counter to archers? Do you see the conundrum? It's kind of a scale point issue. Honestly, I think usually Keswiks are only good to stop absolute greed, or if you just have very limited olive oil. You'll always feel better about the idea of scaling javelins and lombos because they have a realistic critical mass, whereas Keswiks don't. This is a bit rough. He tried to spring a trap on the other side, sends the archers over. First Chevalier, getting good value. Club to kill, gets away. And also that creates the space now for the pilgrims. Remember also, because he captured this point of interest, he can now see if his opponent's leaning this side and switch. So, yeah, POIs on Highview, very, very important for Knights Templar. Are you going to check out Tempest Rising? New game similar to Red Alert? I already have. And I think I talked about it the other day. It's cool. It's okay. I don't mind it. I don't think Templar Rising feels like anything special, though. It's not trying to be truly innovative. But I think also, in some ways, it's paying a bit too much lip service to Command & Conquer without understanding what truly made Command & Conquer captivating. And that's the character building, the world building. I wasn't enamored with the world building of Tempest Rising. It's okay. Like, I've been playing through the GDF campaign, and I'll continue to do so, and I'm having fun with it. But what I'm not convinced of is that 10 years from now, I'll be talking about Tempest Rising ever again. And that's fine. Not every game has to be iconic. If you want an RTS experience that's reminiscent of Command & Conquer, it's worth picking up. But there are some simple things that will frustrate you that frustrate me. For example, the fact that you can't just have all buildings split production between them. I don't know, I think they were so focused on being Command & Conquer, they overlooked some very basic things that Command & Conquer done differently. Like, in Command & Conquer, those don't know, if you have multiple production buildings, like multiple Raxes, it doesn't produce out of multiple Raxes. You have a primary Rax, and more Raxes improve the production rate of that Rax. And it's almost like they forgot about that with Tempest Rising, because you just have this weird situation where all of your buildings are on a UI slide, and you have to click between the tabs to use the different buildings. Unless you control group, but I don't know. Chevalier, in the meantime, have failed to get a single worker kill so far this game. It's becoming a little bit problematic. Kilyardi has at least kept pressure on B side of the map, so it's not all doom and gloom. His opponent isn't really countering the Pilgrim. And in theory, B, he still has to address this outpost, which is now fortified. Looks pretty in the orange, by the way. He also has another issue, which is if you're not going to be building olive groves, which are probably not next to Grand Winery, then you eventually have to go more wide to more berries, more deer. And your tree lines don't really serve to assist with that. So Chevalier over time should feel really, really good here for Kilyardi. Yeah, my worry right now for bees is going to be a bit too defensive. And I like that he's doing this. Cura Siphon's on the way. So he will be clearing the way onto the berries and the deer. And that might set him up to start prepping Grand Winery into groves. Okay, how do predictions do, by the way? 91% for Kilyardi? That's crazy. Elaborate. I guess, like, you would have seen the outpost rush, and we did big it up. It is a big deal. Guys, hear me out. I figured it out. Knights Templar is broken on high view and low rank. Because low rank people don't build scouts. Why would you? A scout doesn't win a fight. That's lame. So, hear me out. You send all your villagers into the Shroud, never to be seen again. They never will get scouted. Big brain. Anyway, we do have the eventual pull. Yo, you know what? Okay, this is kind of Giga Brain. I don't know if he's going to do it. You could technically tank with the Pilgrim. If you got the timing right on what you're doing, like, you could actually, like, just have free damage absorbed on the unit that's going to disappear. But obviously you got Chevalier here, so it's like he'll just... But that is a curious idea for early game with Pilgrim. Because a Pilgrim has basically got textiles already. So in theory, if you bring 8 villagers out and then aggro onto like the Pilgrim, it should be very hard to lose the Pilgrim. Because also he's going to run away. So like he'll tank 2 hits and then you just kill the ball. Very situational depending on the map, but might be worth it. Just like this fight over here. Cura Siphon. Taking a long time to actually get through this outpost. Gotta be very careful the overlap when you charge in here, because sometimes you actually take the pure full damage from the siege. Start clumping down. Remember, Cura Siphons do not have as much health as Rams. That Limitane line is quite thin, actually. Yeah, the Cura Siphon looks like it might be given over at this rate. Dive in. Looks like that is going to be the cleanup. Just needs one more club. Okay, nicely defended by Kiliadi. Huge military lead now. B was thinking about going Castle Age. I wonder if this scares him a little. Because that's actually quite a big army. Gotta say, I really like Kiliadi's position. I imagine we're looking at Genoa next. Angevin, I don't think Angevin is that great against Byzantines, unless you're against a Sippy Cup build, because Cadders. And we don't talk about this. Doesn't exist, guys. Like this isn't a thing. Ignore this, because no one builds genitals. So most likely it's just gonna be Genoa. I don't know. I think Genoa is just the generic go-to option because the bonus is applicable to almost every Knights Templar game you could imagine. It's 30% more gold, you know? Like, what more do I need to say? In theory, Angevin's really good if you're going for an all-in Sacred Site win condition. It's just... the issue is how expensive that is. Because you need the keep drops to really make sense. Nice diving. Let's end up losing one of the Knights, but that's absolutely fine. Do we have raids? Yeah, we did have a little bit of poke over here, but outposts are up, kind of making it more of a nuisance. I think the goal is, like, you know, eventually B will secure the kill on this outpost, but you're just making him pay so much for it. This is now the third curious item. And reminder, these things are not cheap. 260 resources. Almost the cost of 2 Chevalier. Wait, are you trying to justify genitals in my chat? Okay, that actually might be like a perma. I don't do it out of joy. I do it for your own safety and sanity. Yeah, genitals just ain't it. They need a complete rework on their animation. Nice diving again. Another freebie? I'm perplexed. Was he feigning aggression? I mean, he's going Golden Horn Tower, and oh my god, you tried to feign aggro against the most aggressive player in AoE 4. He sees him. He's sweeping through the army quickly. I mean, this isn't a race. There's nothing left of him. The archers can now peel off to deal with the villagers. Unbelievable. Okay, so against a tame, logical player of, like, average game style, this makes sense. Against a guy who every 30 seconds feels a thirst for blood, it does not make any sense at all. Oh my god. And Kiliadi now able to hunt down the villagers. I mean, there's no way to really run. He hasn't got a gate. The archer count is too high. Textiles plus Akratoy will minimize the losses. But it is definitely starting to add up. I mean, the idle time alone. Unbelievable. Now, it's not over. Technically, B can supplement his economy with assistance to buff what remains. And it has been a long feudal, so the eco count should be quite high, in theory. In reality, there's like a lot could still die here. Okay, seriously. Can we just agree that villager formation shuffles are ridiculous? How have this many survived? How is that only the 9th kill after he lost that dive? Well, that defense, rather, so convincingly. This is ridiculous. Ring a roses. Do I need to get my daughter out here to play, like, ring a roses? Pocket full of we're just going round in circles. And finally, he has mopped it up. So it's going to be finding his way into completing the Golden Horn Tower. But oh, will you look at that? Kiliadi now has immediately what he needs for Republic of Genoa. Benny Hill's music? No, like... Benny Hill's music is more appropriate when there's like 20 knights following, they can't reach you. When it's just 1 or 2, it's full of ring a roses. Also, I can sing ring a roses and not get DMCA'd. I feel like if I had a trumpet and could play the Benny Hill song, I'd get DMCA'd. And I need the money, so no. Someone who doesn't really need the money as much anymore is going to be Kiliadi. A nice big inflation coming in. Timing actually perfect as well. Just gonna get it trigger in before the next pilgrims pop off. Is formation shuffle abuse in tourneys? No, it's just a mechanic that we've had to get used to, tolerate, live with, all the above. Kiliadi, he's still going to be leading archers. I think this is fine, though. If your opponent had a lot of javelins, it's a problem. But, like, realistically, javelins trade worse into their archers than they do into healers when both in the same age. To be honest with you, right now, there's just a lack of quantity that's kind of worrying me a bit for me. Native plastic, mate. Cataphracts now. Okay, so he does go for it. We talked about cataphracts and why, because like they're not usually on the table, Angevin Empire would kind of suck. This is interesting though. Kiliadi already reacting with crossbows, but that does enable javelins. Can Knights Templar do pilgrims and traders? So Knights Templar can do traders in Imperial Age. So in Imperial Age, they get access to the Venetians. If they choose them, they'll get the ability to build 5 traders that move quicker than standard traders. Like, we're talking they've got a canister of nitro attached to those boys. Nitrous, rather. They be zoomed. Like, Venetian traders go so fast that rumor has it that Vin Diesel took one look at them and decided he immediately wanted to buy all of them and race them. So I wonder if Kiliadi starts playing stone. Oh, that's only one so far, but it could make sense to gradually trend to secure the sacred sites. One thing that is going to be big is the monk transition timing. We don't have it yet from Kiliadi, and I think the cataphracts are why. Normally you just, with this type of map control, straight up, and yeah, that's what I was talking about. You see how quickly that guy died? You've got to be really careful standing behind buildings. You take fewer damage from the hero side. Is he gonna kill another one? Is this the 5th Hero Siphon? This is quickly approaching the most valuable outpost against Byzantines. Looks like he will get the clutch repair in the end. Yeah, back to like the original point. The reason why he didn't rush monks is the cataphracts. And I think that's intentional from B. They just wood? No, Hero Siphons cost wood and gold. They're expensive rams. Even though they have less health than standard rams, they're more efficient as entities of one. They have good range and good damage up. He's still alive? Oh man, he's looking more than just alive, guys. If he starts getting these systems up, he's going to be thriving. I think that's the only negative right now with B's build, is obviously he just hasn't really been accruing stone to escalate economy. But he's going to de-escalate Kiliadi's. He's got the outpost to protect on the ball. Pilgrims are still trending this way, so he needs to get the army over here ASAP. This is true budget knight versus true Chad knight, and it kind of feels bad because with Knights Templar, you do have a way of kind of contesting cataphracts with Knights brothers, Templar brothers. The problem is they're just so slow and inexpensive. So instead, he just wants trash tier frontline, good backline. The problem is your opponent has so many archers and javelins that counter that backline perfectly. To be in a really good position. I think Kiliadi is in such a rush to protect. He does look to sneak the villagers out, but that is going to be seen. 2 of them get sniped. Kiliadi. He's just going to have to forfeit the area. There's not really anything he now wants right now. I mean, the ball would be nice. Be behind this, there's bigger problems though. If Kiliadi doesn't pressure, this is going to start happening. Olive Groves are key here, folks. He is trying to centralize his economy on a map where you feel very naked and vulnerable. You just don't have vision. Or also to speak on the retreat. I mean, this game is just getting better and better for B. He's about to go up to 4 relics. I'm kind of shocked that Kiliadi never found his way to relics. we talked about why the cat is, but sometimes you just kind of got to punt. Now he needs to just basically attack. Could he seize down the Grand Winery? Take the goodies, maybe. Gotta find out. There is a wall available. Yep, nicely done. That's gonna scare him away. Cataphracts on the back line are just munching away at this as well. There's a few spearmen plus the crossbows in there. The idea does have numbers, but obviously not all of them here. Chevalier Confrère. Just enough of them left. He's going to go for this again. We've been here before. Another dive underneath the primary TC. Stick on top of this. I mean, the problem now, though, is the Chevalier, last time this happened, there was a lot of them. Now there's one or two. The enemy's crossbows also just do not have much range on them. They can't camp here. Camel's also arriving, so that's going to be a pushback. And all of a sudden, like, I'm starting to look at this game, and I feel like B's ahead. Which is crazy when you look at the worker kill count on each side. Why is Kiliadi still making budget knights? Because Templar brothers are way too expensive. They're just not spammable. They take a very long time compared to Chevalier, and they're very expensive. So you have two thought processes here. If you want to raid, Templar brother. If you want to full all-in, Chevalier Confrère. And he wants to all-in. Arguably, even for raiding, Chevalier Confrère aren't too bad, guys, because at this stage in the game, they can free hit a villager like a standard knight would in Field Age. I know that sounds pretty underwhelming for a Castle Age unit, but for raiding purposes, keep in mind how many more of these you'd have than Templar brothers. Templar brothers, you can see there, 253 resources. These guys, only 166. So Kiliadi still has flex to play Sacred Sites for resources. That's the good news. Bad news is starting to look like everything else. Why is there a relic? Yes, this was a strategy. It definitely wasn't that we looked here and realized we still have a monk back here. He's going to bring it over now. Needs to build a monastery to secure that. I just find that wall very comical. This is like you walk in like, what are you doing back? We're working, horse. Definitely going to bill you for these hours. Double Sacred Site for B is going to get decapped. Kiliadi, if he was thinking about a Sacred Site win condition now, there is a very fair argument he has completely missed it. There was a timing earlier where it would have made sense, but something we highlighted that feels really rough with Knights Templars. You can't rush fortresses. It's a 900 resource investment that takes a very long time to build. That's why you never see them. Should it be better to put the relics in a monastery in this situation? In this situation, no. He's fine on gold. He's got a 4k in the corner. It's his olive oil that's laying him down. He only has a small handful of growth, so actually Grand Winery is super valuable. The only reason he's got this many javelins is because of the Grand Winery relics. Javelins really are the MVP for him. Kiliadi, an insane bloke, by the way. 35 archers, 31 spears. It's definitely budget tier army. I think B, Cataphracts isn't really as desirable anymore. For raiding, fine, but definitely not your frontline you want. What could make a lot of sense here is actually just Varangian switch. You could even just think about Limitani for tanking. What do you think, guys? Ones if you think B's going to win, twos if you think Kiliadi. This game feels like it's getting hard to call. I mean, technically B's economy looks great, but Kiliadi does have bulk. And I never write this man off for the levels of aggression that he applies. I mean, this is a guy that can out-aggro Vortex. Not many people can claim that. That is ambitious, though. Rule of Templars with 0 Templar brothers. What? He's only got 6 Chevalier. What? That's crazy. I can't believe I'm saying this. Oh, B is going to get scared away. He was starting to macro up a little bit. I don't know if you really want to be rushing Imperial per se. Probably not sure what he wants to commit into. It's going to be additional cataphracts, and we do have the toxic stuff being prepped. Double outpost, fortifications rushing in. That means Kiliadi has to kill these now. Fortification. Oh my god, wait, is he using the... That's sick! The System Dialecticus! He's rushing Mangonels! 12 seconds to get an emplacement. Forces the fight onto him, so there's going to be at least one Mangonel emplacement. B, this is a hard fight to stand your ground on, but now with the Mango to reinforce, maybe, just maybe, it's good enough. Spearmen have reached the javelins. I think he's just going to get overwhelmed. If he had double outpost, very different fight. So great read by Kiliadi to block one of them. But oh my god, imagine if he just now switches Presidium. You'd never kill the thing. That was crazy. What a sick play by B. You don't really see it used very often, but yes, you did hear me correctly. Dialecticus, research speed, applies to emplacements. You can get an outpost fully upgraded in 24 seconds. That was crazy. And look at the tail end of the fight. Kiliadi lost military mass advantage. Absolutely wild. Another fortress drop in the meantime by Kiliadi. So he's at least scaling his eco. He's got a sizable lead already. Soon to be up to 4 pilgrims. I don't think he's going to be fast enough to get max payday on this one. Did he go for... No treasure towers. A little bit surprising. Once you have the double fortress, I think it's worth it. Oi, oi, oi. You could die here. Yeah, you... Kiliadi? He's going to get seen. Yep, that right there is a freebie for B. And he knows it. He's going to head over. So Fortress has to be cancelled. I can't believe he even tried it. The moment the point of interest is being captured, alarm bell should have been going off. So yeah, instead it's going to be on the east side in the end. All that effort just to end up walking to the other side of the map. That's got to feel bad, especially considering now that B has gone to TC. This is full Fortress. Guys, in fairness, it is a lot of gold. 119 gold currently. He's going to be able to buff that up with treasure towers eventually. It's definitely worth playing it like this. Traps in the meantime. Please tell me he done it. No, Presidium, come on. Presidium's super efficient for this play right now. Not doing it. Yeah, this is the annoying thing. Like, statistically, you could argue you're more likely to get killed with villagers repairing by Knights Templar trebuchets. Because, for those who don't know, the Knights Templar trebuchets, individual shots are weaker, but they shoot twice. There's even an upgrade in Imperial Age that allows you to add a third projectile into treb shots. I'm wondering actually like what B's win condition is. Because you can see what Kiliadi's intent is. He wants to cap out on pilgrims. I think for B, the longer this goes, the harder your entry point gets now. So like you probably just play Imperial. Because cannons will solve all of this. Real cannons will destroy all of this. What's that graveyard of fortresses? Attempts. I mean, technically, so here's the thing that I don't get. I shake my head at people who moan about stealth forests. What a noob. If you really hate stealth forest that much, just start fake building everywhere and cancelling. Stealth forest is gone. Problem is resolved. You're welcome. smash fortresses. He has got camels in there. Spear's now arriving though from behind. He's also got the armor increase. I don't think the Springles care though. Like, wait, no, he's actually lining up perfect for Springle shots. Most of the cav is dead. Backline looking sturdy for B though. He can start to back off a little bit. Mangonels are now arriving the perfect time after all melee has been removed. It's going to be Mango on Mango gameplay. Also, Kiliardi, yeah, feeling a little bit overextended now with the Trebs. I'll start to back him off just in the nick of time here. The Fortress drop in the stealth forest. B was unaware of that. That's going to force him away. But we do have a trend towards mass mangoes, which usually follows up with a group play. It seems more and more likely, more and more undeniable, actually. This is feeling like a pretty crazy game now. So, Genoese crossbowmen. What's the thought process for Kiliardi? Technically, with the range aura on the fortresses, javelins can't hit you. So that's actually not bad. I think for Kiliardi, though, like for this to be a real win condition, you need the other sacred site, no? Right now, he just looks a bit stuck. I think he's going to try for it again, folks. B, in the meantime, is going to now secure the 8-stack, the 8k. How is B not further ahead on economy? Has this TC not been frequently producing? We also have 3 lines that remind me of my own. A reminder that even top-level players can do this. We're all guilty of it, folks. There's a big gap with no lumber camp. It wouldn't be a B game in the late game if we didn't get more and more sprinkles. Ah, yeah, guys, I understand the thought process here. Oh, Genoese crossbowmen. Those are just like a poor man's Springles, right? Right? I mean, technically, actually, yes, they are. Now that I think about it, they have a worse attack speed. Actually, sorry, no, they have better attack speed, they don't penetrate. So as long as you hit 2 units with a Springle, it's going to do a lot more damage. Because you hit for 28 versus 32. Yes. That's actually an interesting dynamic to think about. B can't win. That's a bold statement. He can't win this? He's got Trebs, guys. If he starts targeting out the fortresses, he can force an attack on his side. Yadi is now obliged to take. That's a lot of cavalry, though, and not much front line. He's going to split up and head straight in for the mangoes. Kiliardi, that's an overextension. He's going to try to protect some of them, hides them deeper into the range line, but that's just not going to work. So all siege gets purged. I'm sorry, I thought casters had the curse. Apparently, chat has it too. Even able to get the Trebs. Okay, that's huge. That is so much kill value. It's actually going to turn around for the Mango, sees it as a higher value target. Makes sense. But now we have the Trebs to start sieging into the fortress. This is where Kiliardi's game is going to slow down quite a bit, actually. Farm count behind this is at least decent. He's sitting at 36. But Olive Groves are just better. 33. And the other thing, guys, like, while you're looking at this going, but he has all the pilgrims. True. But remember, you have to add 25% villager count onto bees because of the system. Like, economically, bees are actually not as weak as you think. And then there's the olive oil on top of all that. So you start to see why, actually, it's not just as simple as Kiliardi has the pilgrims. Yeah, it doesn't have many of them. Unless there's going to be 3 remaining standing. And the interesting thing about taking fortresses out is, of course, you take away map control, but you also take away economy from your opponent. Normally, dropping a castle is to protect an eco expansion, but with Knights Templar, it's a double pain factor because it removes a secured area for resource gathering, but it also removes pilgrims. Yeah, it's definitely a valuable target for your opponent, because realistically, if they take out a fortress, they're taking out 3 villages of gathering per minute. I mean, the problem is, like, you just don't have a high-value target to the same degree. It's nice to take out the seeds if you can, but difficult. It's also nice to remove these outposts because of mangonel placements. But... yeah, he's genuinely trying to use prep to snipe siege. Are you kidding me? 5 HP. Current refund. I'd feel so scammed by this right now. Kiliani just needs to finish a target. Just keep switching. Oh my god, there's so many almost dead siege weapons. If B backs these up right now, I'm gonna cry. Oh, he's going to trade against the remaining siege. Both of them are just draining each other's driveways, by the way. I can't believe it. He does pull villages. Okay. But, like, is it maybe too late? They're still dying. And also, where is B's army? What? Pick to the bone. Camels arrived just in time. The clutch save there. Chevalier would have actually cleaned that up. This game is crazy. What? It's kind of funky how B's economy just evaporated in terms of his ability to produce units. It shows you how expensive Horseman's Band can be. Hence why most players reserve it for Imperial Age, not Castle. I got a big smile on my face because this has been almost comical the way it's been played. KT Mango Trap's kind of good. Yeah, like it's... I mean, someone just mentioned in English, the old Sharon projectiles, which is a meme now. Because of the spread. And reminder, like I said, you know, if you have a static fight, at least in Imperial Age, these things can snipe all the siege then as well. Because in Imperial Age, you can add a third projectile, so you spread the damage even more. Is Nice Templar the Siege Thief? No, I'm not going to go that far. Horseman, an ambitious dive in by B is going to be wasteful. He just doesn't have a front line. Another mangoes? Chevalier are not going to finish them off. If Kiliani could just sneak a small retinue down here, unfortunately there's already a castle up for B, so Sacred Site win condition not seeing realistic here. Gotta give it to him though. This is a pristine Sherna Genoese crossbows now. They're very snowbally. It feels like they're hard to bulk, but once you have that critical mass going, hard to counteract as well. 110 health on this ranged unit compared to a standard crossbow at 80. I think the funky thing is like crossbows, generally these crossbows look really suck at starter castle age, really powerful when you get scale, and then kind of plastic when they go Imperial because they don't scale stats that well. This is crazy. Look at the aggro from Kiliani. That chase in, man. Has he got greased axles? Yeah, there you go. That's the difference. No greased axles for B. So he actually can't run away. He's losing more siege. Horseman not going to get a dive in for free, though. And Kiliani, that may end up being an overextension. Full blitzkrieg effect. We go so fast, we have no fuel. Looks like maybe he can get rid of the siege. I don't think there's anything left of him. His economy has been picked to the bone in terms of his ability to produce army. He's been found wanting. Kiliani able to punish exactly that. Genoese crossbow mass remains. Trebs now moving into the base. Systems would make a lot of sense. Even just the olive groves, actually. There we go. Insta-kill. That's going to put him down a tier. And B is apparently planning to look so desirable to the Americans that they invade the map and protect it. That is how modern history works, B. But unfortunately for you, this game took place in like the 14th, 15th century. So probably shouldn't rely on the Americans to come with. I think it's a gold as well. I mean, this could be a lot of javelins. A lot. They're just not being produced. I guess B just wants to try and go Imperial. That's the only reason you'd hold this much olive oil is Imperial into mass siege. Nesta B's, yeah, actually that makes sense. Nesta B's is the counterplay. Against 50 Genoese crossbowmen, it makes sense. That though, B forced to reinvest again. Doesn't Crusader like to raid Byzantine and Constantinople? Yeah, but usually you could just like bribe them. Okay, and he actually spends the oil, so 4 camel riders queued up. Or 8 though. Tango emplacements proving a little bit annoying. Actually goes after the siege with them. Not ideal, very ambitious target. But this is double mango emplacement still, because the castle has one too. Speaking of mango fight, nice wall up under B's villages. Gold gathering has been fully denied. B, by the way, has no other gold source behind this. Horsemen, however, once again dive in. Siege about to get swept. The difference here, however, is like long-term gold. Kilyari has infinite gold. B does not. He has infinite liquid gold. Can't believe they're still in castle at 45 minutes. Welcome to Kilyari gameplay. I don't know, sometimes watching Knights Templar players, it really feels like they don't want to go Imperial. You could just imagine them chanting, don't go in, don't go in, don't go in, don't go in. This game is wild. So B into mass camels now. He has reclaimed gold. Like, if you're going to go Imperial, this is the moment. But it's tricky. He just doesn't have good gold reserves. He can somewhat fix that if he actually just pulls the relics. So you can passive gen gold to try and bypass it. The issue isn't teching and then getting your techs, so you get them fast. Your issue is actually having enough to afford tech. That wallop right there, the mango is the follow-up here. Oh my god, he's full on wiping him. Another villager pull. Into Genoese crossbowman? Are you insane, man? That was an insane hit by Kilyari. It has, however, enabled a ridiculous quantity of horsemen to flood the field. It's breeding season in Pony Farm. Kilyari's about to find out. Mangoes get mobbed. Mass horsemen. They're circling. What happened to Kilyari's military? Oh my god. It's just gone. And crossbows, I don't know if they're rescalable quick enough. It's a 26-second wait period. Actually, not true. He has military academy. So down to 17. Maybe the mangoes is the big concern. And the farms. Oh my. Actually wrapped onto them with expilatores. This is it, B. He shutters the farms. And Kilyari is nowhere near maximum population. Also just pushing the front side. It's just ponies everywhere. Well, this is true Byzantines, isn't it? Hide behind the city walls. And then when a tiny opening arrives, raid the countryside. Which is ironically what I think the Templars usually like to do to the Byzantine. It doesn't matter. Alternate history, baby. What is this ridiculousness? 47 minutes. And we are still in Castle Age. This game is wild. But I think it is coming to conclusion. It's crazy just how much mango play we've seen in Castle. Normally this is reserved for Imperial. To this scale anyway. Yeah, this is a zero wall game from both sides. Walls are overrated. Kiliani wouldn't give you time for it, and B's like, fine. Aggro it is, sir. Aggro it is. There's out wave number 1. Okay, so actually Kiliani did have a gold vein in reserve hiding in the corner. Gold? Not really his problem right now. Food is. Also, keep in mind, additional fortresses down means less pilgrims, less gold. Like, long term, you know, all of a sudden we have a situation where Kiliani might not be gold favored. You get gold from killing pilgrims? You do. So we used that when we played in Beastie's Hidden Free-For-All to milk a Knights Templar player next to us. Kept killing the pilgrims with wonders. It's a good payday. Sacred Sites, he's gonna lock it in, man. This is over. How does Kiliani get back out now? Because now, like, the gold that he's got is all he's ever gonna have. So Imperial is just not happening. Genuine's crossbows burns through your gold quickly anyway. You definitely can't play mass mangoes anymore. I'm bloody impressed. And he has just enough gold to get him across the finish line. Because once he has got Foreign Engineering Company, he can just build Nesta Bees. That's all he needs. Kiliani seems to have thrown. I think he just got baited into an overextension. Like, you say through, but, like, how? Going to the base to try and press an advantage, I don't necessarily call that a throw. B was insanely weak on military production at a certain point. Just unfortunately, Kiliani wasn't able to use his base to protect him. I wouldn't be surprised if he just called GG in the moment the foreign engineering company comes in. Because he'll know what it means. Like, even if you could wipe the siege that the current army has, it's just going to be replaced. And you can't do that. You shouldn't cap the sacred sites so you can farm pilgrims. You can farm them anyway. Like, they'll still travel, guys. Like, you know, the pilgrims don't, like, they're not blocked by a sacred site being captured first. At this point, Kiliani's probably going to say screw it and have one final fight. Do pilgrims get textiles? No. But if you get the Hospitalier choice in Feudal Age, they do get extra health. Crazy game. Wait, is that? I thought you could still send them to the sacred site. Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm an idiot. I misread that. Wait, did that get changed? Or is it always that way? Wait. Oh, I think they keep traveling if the capture happens after they spawn. Is that correct? Maybe that's where I got you baited. Right. My bad. I take that back. Well played, Jack. But I think they will continue and do their final trek if the sacred site got captured. Yeah, okay, there you go. That's where I got confused. Because I've legit watched 10 pilgrims walk onto a captured sacred site. There you go. I like that. I like that I've still got things to learn about this city. But B doesn't care about the exploratory's tech. He cares about having him just forcing Kiliani out of his base. But what was that for? We do have a remass here. This is pretty ridiculous. Where did this army mass come from? 90? I mean, he can't keep this up, though. A valiant last surge, but unless you can get right on top of the olive grove now, inevitability is knocking at the door. You're talking about elite techs here. And also, remember, one of them is going to be the camel support. Because everything just got so much harder to kill. Kiliani is basically looking to end this game the way he started it. Building only speeds. I can't believe this is just game one. I don't know. I've got a bad feeling. Like, sometimes you kind of get these type of games that just exhaust the players and then it rolls quickly. But either way, this set off to an insane start with G1. You take out a Pilgrim Loan? That's a good question. I wish that was in the UI. I don't think so. No. He doesn't even have the ability unlocked. I don't think I've seen one pro use that ability yet. In a game. In a proper game. Byzantine Fortress is going to get cleared. But that was his last punt. Kiliardi, bless him. You got to remember he's an old man. And B is taking him on a marathon. At this point, he just wants to go back to his good old rocking chair and catch another season of Neighbours. Most aggro game 1 hour I've ever seen. Yep, these guys had no chill. I freaking loved it. And yeah, just in case it does go deeper, B, he already has trade going. That's it. GG gets called. I can trade. You cannot. Kiliani and B delivering quite the bloodbath on Pigeon's View.